Hello. Today is going to be a very simple video because my October is about to be packed and um honestly, I don't think I'll be able to read that many books, just like how I haven't been able to read as many books in September, and that's always fine because reading is not just like, be all and all. I'm just trying to make it something that's more present in my life at the moment. So even just reading like a few pages every day is still really good. So that's what I'm planning to do for October in spite of my busy schedule. So I have a few books that I'm kind of like eyeing to read aside from the book that I'm currently reading for my book club, and that is, I'm gonna get it, The Secret History. I'm finally opening up this bad boy with my good friend Mimi. Shout out to you, Mimi. We are gonna be starting this, and we are gonna have a lot of fun. Hopefully, I've started reading like the first few pages, if you can tell from the tabbing and stuff. So I really hope that I really like this, but it is a little bit daunting because it is like 800. Okay, well, it's not 800. I'm exaggerating. It's 8 chapters. It has 600 pages, but still, it is quite intimidating to me. So we'll see how that goes. So for October, the mood and the feel is just YA, simple, straightforward. I think one of it is a reread, and yeah, it's not gonna be anything like super um, difficult to read or any classics. If I do read any classics, I think that it will be just like on a whim. But for the moment, it's just gonna be YA books and like one tiny little poetry book. So these are the books that I'm planning to read for October. So the first one, it's about love. So I am actually in the process of rereading this. I've already started reading a few pages, and because I wanted to make a video about how this used to be my favorite book, and so I want to see if it still holds up the title for my favorite book, because if not, then I do have a title in mind for my favorite book. But as as of now, this is still like my favorite book since like 2016, and I know that like means that I haven't really read anything that's that's much better. But like, in my opinion, my favorite book is just like about how it made me feel and what it made me learn, not particularly because it was a great book by itself. It's just my favorite one because it like personally resonated with me, especially this book. And you should be getting a video about me rereading this book sometime in the future. I don't know when, but yeah, I am planning to reread this book. I already started, so yeah, we're gonna see how that goes. Next one, well, I read the first book, so it shouldn't be a surprise that I am also reading the second book now, and that is Percy Jackson and the Sea Monsters. I have also made some progress on this one. I started reading a little bit on the plane because I was reading this while I was traveling. But so far, what I've heard about this book is that this is the weakest out of the five books, and I don't know how much I want to lean into that. I think I'm just going to take it with a grain of salt and form my own opinions as I continue to read the rest of the series. But for now, I am reading this, and um, it is quite exciting. It is intriguing. Of course, it still has that same Percy appeal. Percy still that rebellious teen from the first book. But I feel like maybe this is also just trying to find itself a little bit, because I am still within like the the first half of the book, so it's still like building up to climax and stuff. It's like introduction, and then it's like introducing elements into it, like Tyson. I think that's his name. I think his name is Tyson. Editor Tay will put there if it's Tyson or not. Okay, so yeah, I am I'm reading this book right now, and I'm really excited so that I can move on to the other books, because after I'm finished with reading this book, I am going to read the other series that Rick Riordan has written, other than the Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Got it right this time, and yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I want to, quite honestly, I want to blast through this one, but we'll see. And this book, the next book I'm about to show you, I got this so long ago. I feel like now that I am rediscovering my love for reading, I am just looking through all the old books that I like bought but I never read. But this one is called The Unpredictability of Being Human. So I got this a very, 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 very long time ago, like a few years ago. So I'm really excited for this because it does like deal with a higher being of sorts. Like in the back, in the blurb at the back, it says, "If I got to be God for one day, I like to say I'd end world hunger and create world peace, but I wouldn't because if God could fix the big stuff, He would have done it already." See, dealing with a higher being, and this is YA because it's Usborne's YA like books, and I'm quite excited to read this. I don't know how I've never heard anything about this book. I remember when I picked up this book, I just looked at it, I read the back, and I was like, that sounds pretty interesting. I kind of want to read this. And so I picked up the book, but I never read it, and so I am picking it up now. And hopefully I like it, or maybe I won't. We'll see. That's the point of reading books. You'll see if you like it or not. So yeah, all the books so far is just really simple YA books because I need a break. My finals are coming up, and so I don't want to be reading a bunch of classics all the time and like fogging up my brain. And I also have a lot of other stuff going on, so I like to keep it pretty simple. And last but not least, this is a book I've been reading since July, and this is the Pocket Roomies, basically tiny little roomie writings from the Rubaiyat, the Masnawi, and also the Ghazals. Forgive me if I mispronounce any of those, but yeah, I am about halfway through. I want to say I'm halfway through, and so far I am absolutely loving this. I have a favorite poem from here already. Um, it's somewhere here. I don't remember. It's not that I don't remember. Okay. Okay, it's 494. It's my favorite one. If you have this, you can go find it. But I think if you look up Rumi 494, you can also see what poem I'm talking about. But I want to finish this because this is just a small little book, but I want to finish it because there is quite a lot of writing. There are about 200, up to almost like 300 pages of just Rumi's writing, and I'd like to get more into it. I'm only halfway through, even though I've had this book for months, because this is a tiny book. I don't really remember, and some of it is pretty like big to process, so it takes me a while to read. I know that sounds a little bit ridiculous, but it does. Poetry, when you read it out loud, it really like hits you differently than you expect it to, and so yeah, I want to read. I want to finish this. I want to finish reading this month, hopefully, if I can. So, these are all. These are just all the books that I want to read. I know that there are other books that I want to read, but I kind of don't want to say them on camera just in case I don't read them. And if I said the books that I wanted to read, it'd be a repeat of some of the other videos I have. So let's not do that. So here are the books that I want to read for October. Yay! Hopefully I get to read them because these are pretty simple YA reads, and one is poetry, and yeah. Bye.